Yo, what's up with y'all? Welcome to another brilliant, booming episode of Rantz with your boy, African King Darius. So, today, y'all, I decided I want to rant about something that, I think it hits home for a lot of people. With the way that the economy is today, my question to y'all that I have is, how do you make your extra income? Today I want to talk to y'all about hustling, okay? Now, for us African Americans, and us blacks, making extra money is called hustling, okay? When we need that extra money in our pockets that jobs don't provide, we have to be able to figure out a way to get that extra money by either, going out there and selling whatever we can find to sell. I mean, some people out there were selling on mamas. Now, I want to send you a little disclaimer right now. Even though it may sound like I'm about to say something good, I'll have you know, this might piss some of y'all off, okay? It might piss some of y'all off because I need to explain that some of y'all might get offended by what I'm about to say. Everybody has a hustle, okay? Everybody has a hustle. And let me define to you what a hustle is. Matter of fact, let's ask Siri. Hey, Siri? Hey, Siri? What is the definition of the word hustle?
As a verb, it means force someone to move hurriedly or unceremoniously in a specified direction. Do you want to hear the next one?
Yes, please.
This is an informal term. As a verb, it means obtained by forceful action or persuasion. Want to hear one more?
Yes, please.
This is an informal term. As a verb, it means engage in prostitution. Want to hear one more?
No, thank you. Okay, so a hustle, now they said engage in prostitution. Now, by definition, the word prostitution is the selling of oneself or something, okay, of any kind, where it's illegal. Okay, so a hustle is when you're trying to persuade someone to buy something or to gain something that is either through the means of it being illegal or legal. It's by you persuading them. Now, let me ask you a question. So, a lot of y'all, do y'all work? If you work, have you ever worked a retail sales job? If you have answered yes to that question, then you'll know. A retail sales job is another hustle, okay? That's all it is. And I'm talking in business terms. It's nothing but another hustle. Most people who, are really trying their best to, really like make that extra buck in their pocket, all normally have to do something in order to get it. They have to persuade people to buy the product they have. Now, for copyright purposes, I am not going to actually show you guys anything that of a particular brand because I'm not sponsored by those brands, so I can't really show them. But I can give you an example. Let's say I had a big, huge pack of Hug Juices, okay? The best time for me to sell those Hug Juices is over the summer. Now, I need to pick a premier location to sell those Hug Juices. It's your responsibility to become licensed so you can sell that product. But most people normally sell it without getting a license, okay? When you do that, that's illegal for one, but that's your hustle. That's the way you make money. That's the way you get extra income, okay? There are so many different examples of hustles, and I'm actually going to give you guys some examples of some that I've done myself. I remember way back when I was just a little kid, right? Me and my brother, we used to get candy together from Sam's Club. And we used to go to our schools and we used to sell the candy that we had. We used to have Skittles, M&Ms, Blow Pops, bubble gum. We used to have Twizzlers, Twix, Snickers. Milky Way, Three Musketeers, Reese's. We had all the candy. My mom used to take us to get the big, huge thing of candy, like the little containers that they used to come in. Not the small containers, but like the box that they used to come in. I'm busy. So, those boxes that she used to take for us to go get. Me and my brother would put them in our backpack. We'll get to school during lunchtime. Hey man, you want to buy some Reese's? Hey man, you want to buy some Twix? Hey man, you want to buy some M&M's? And that was me and my brother's way of making that extra money to buy our video games, our toys, any WWE wrestling action figures we wanted to get. We went ahead and saved up that money to get that stuff. Another hustle that me and my brother had was over the summer we used to wash our family member's car. We used to wash my uncle's car, my grandmother's, my great-grandmother's. We used to wash my aunt's car, my parents' car. We washed 5 to 6 cars a day. 5 to 6 cars a day. 5 to 6 cars a day, man. And I mean, as impactful as that was on my life, it only made me realize more and more that everybody has a hustle. Because, there used to be a guy who used to live on my block, Jewish guy. Jewish kid, he's a guy now. Jewish kid used to live on my block. His name was David. And he used to go up and down the block. Hey, you need me to mow your lawn? That is another form of a hustle. He's providing services, putting himself out there to gain money. It's a form of prostitution, no matter which way you look at it. By definition, it is. So if you have to do those things in order to gain that money to put into your pocket, then it is nothing but true that everybody has a hustle. With the state the economy is in right now, everybody is hustling. Everybody is hustling. So then let me ask you this question. Is there such thing as a political hustle? Indeed it is. There are some people in politics that are willing to sell their soul and sell the very fiber of their being to gain votes, to gain the right type of people to see things from their perspective. These presidents, when they go here on these campaigns, are doing nothing more than just hustling you to get you to vote for them. That's all they doing. When you look at, even with some protests that are happening, and this is where things are about to get rough. Water's about to get rough. I know I'm about to ruffle some feathers, but that's the whole idea of the show. I'm here to ruffle feathers. When you stop and think about it, man, I mean, even when it comes to some protests, some of these things that they say during these protests are trying to convince you to see things from their perspective. But should a protest be advertised? Should it be sponsored? Should it be used to gain financial money, and that money not be put out into the hands of those who are actually suffering? I think it should. I really do. I think it should. I think that if you're going to go right ahead and hold a protest of any kind, you should gather funds, and those funds should go into the hands and the pockets of those who have suffered the pain and atrocities that you are saying you are fighting against. But I have not seen anything to the satisfaction of me saying that that's exactly what's been going on. Because so far I haven't seen that. I've seen nothing but money get put into the pockets of people who've been using it to buy Jordans, who've been using it to go and buy Dolce and Gabbana, to go buy Gucci rags and Gucci purses and, high heel shoes. That's all I've been seeing thus far. So far, nowhere have I seen anybody take their money and say, all right, I'm going to protest against this atrocity that has happened, and put it in the hands of the people who have been suffering. I haven't seen that. We need to understand that at the end of the day, to make money, some of us are willing to go so far as to sell ourselves and sell whatever we have to get it. Sometimes you've got to hustle. You've got to hustle. Another example of a hustle I remember way back when I was in high school, right? And this was my first high school because I went to 2 different high schools. In my first high school, I remember I went and I bought some donuts from Krispy Kreme, right? And I remember, I had family that was working there, right? So every now and then, you know how customers come in, and customers will be like, hey, let me get a dozen of them glazed donuts. You get a dozen of them glazed, man. They would go get those glazed donuts, but then they never bought them. You know, the person, order 191, gone. He done left. Oh my goodness, order 191, done left. He done left, didn't leave no number, no nothing. So now, those donuts just go in the back. So those glazed donuts, man, my sister would call me up, hey, I got some glazed donuts back here that a customer didn't buy. Do you want to come and grab them real quick? On her break, she would grab those glazed donuts. She would come to the door, give them to me. I put them in the back of my mama's car. There you go, man. And I used to take them right to school the next day and sell them glazed donuts, man. Used to sell them joints for like every bit of 50 cents. 2 for $1. Daggone right. No 30-cent donut, 2 for $1. And I hustled, man. I hustled those donuts to be able to get me some extra money in my pocket so I can continue to buy toys. I can continue to buy, wrestling action figures. I can continue to buy me video games. I was trying to save up money so I can get an iPod, and I eventually did buy me one. But that's another example of a hustle I'm talking about. Most people like to go onto places like Amazon and become an Amazon seller. They like to go on places like eBay and become an eBay seller. You can go onto a lot of websites, even if you have something called a Square, right? It's this little device that goes into your phones, right? It's like a little thing that goes directly into the bottom of your phone. Like you put it right here in the bottom of your phone and you hook it in, and it's like a card reader. It scans most credit cards, debit cards, and stuff like that. So if you have that, that's an easy way to start a business. I know when I was selling my donuts and my, I used to even sell like the oatmeal cream pies, honey buns, the big Texas cakes, Little Debbie's, Twinkies. I
don't have any strength.
I had the hookup.
Okay.
So
I thought I had some.
I had the hookup. So all I know is, sorry about that, my son is doing his virtual learning right now. So I had the hookup, man, and I can actually truly say I knew how to really be convincing. Now, these skills I end up using when I got into an actual job and I started working in actual business. I noticed that those persuasion skills I had when I used to do my hustle, I was able to do at a job. And I realize now I wasn't doing a hustle for me. I'm doing a hustle for a corporation. I'm doing a corporate hustle. Well, now I'm making this company money. I'm convincing these people to open up credit cards, to buy $300 worth of clothes, to not use the coupons because the business loses money when you do that. I was trying my best to convince these people to spend top dollar, and I did. I did so effectively. I made companies like Target great. I made companies like Macy's great. When Macy's was in when Orange Mills Mall used to be open, and they had the Macy's up there, I made that Macy's #1 in the district the year I was working there because I really was good at selling whatever they had to customers. Though it was a legal way of doing it, I would talk to people even off the job and stuff like that. So all I'm saying is hustling is the best and effective way to make finances. So what do you think would happen if someone is telling you to see things from their perspective as far as political things go, and they're telling you to see it from this perspective, and they advertising it on clothes and stuff like that. They advertising it on clothes and stuff. If y'all hear any noise in the background, like I said, that's my son on his virtual learning. You know, they're really trying to persuade you to see it from their point of view, but the only main thing they're trying to do is just, honestly, they're trying to hustle you. You know? I mean, at the end of the day, most people can try to disagree and say the Black Lives Matter movement is not a hustle. It is. It's the biggest hustle. You know, they're trying to get you to understand that, hey, we want you to stand up for the atrocities of what's happening to blacks. But don't forget to buy this t-shirt. You know, I want you to help march with us. But don't forget to wear this t-shirt about the 100 million people marching. You know, we want you to really, really, really see the atrocities that's happening to these to us blacks. About this poster right here. You know, how many people are wearing Black Lives Matter t-shirts and Black Lives Matter memorabilia? Dr. King back in his day wasn't selling stuff for the Million Man March. Did he go on TV? Oh, I want you all to understand. Tonight at 10 o'clock, there's going to be a Million Man March. And today we have Million Man March merch right here that we want you to buy. It's only going to cost you $9.99. No, Dr. King didn't say buy a $9.99 shirt. It's on sale at your local JCPenney. No, it's not on sale at your local JCPenney. He didn't do that. He wasn't trying to make money off of the pain and suffering of others. He was trying to actually make a stand. But there's some people today who try to say that the Black Lives Matter movement is a legitimate protest when I'm not seeing the whole idea of protest when you selling shirts. I don't care about buying no merch, no t-shirt, no poster and all that.
Code for
just
for
you fine. You fine? I want to see
on the screen
and hear how you feel about the atrocity that's going on. Now, like I said, y'all know, if any of you listen to my podcast, I'm raw. So I do a lot of my stuff at home. So y'all gonna hear some things in the back and stuff like that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But that's just how real I am. Like I said, back to my point. My point is, you should never advertise and hustle someone out of money based off of the pain and suffering of others. How is that trying to produce the ideology of what is good for us African Americans and show us that our suffering is terrible when you're selling a t-shirt with Black Lives Matter on it? You're selling shoes with Black Lives Matter on it. You know, you have Black Lives Matter gloves and Black Lives Matter hats. I don't want to buy merch. I don't want to be spending my money. I don't know where that money is going. So suppose they tell me, oh, this money is going back into the community. And then I see the same dude who says it's going back in the community riding a Ferrari. Did my money go into that Ferrari? I don't know. You don't know where the paper trail is going. Do they tell you where the paper trail is going? No, they don't. The Black Lives Matter movement has always been and always will be another form of a hustle for blacks to make money. You have some people who are taking advantage of the Black Lives Matter movement right now as we speak, and they're making money off of it. What can I tell you, man? It is what it is. All I'm saying is look at the evidence. There's a lot of people who want to dispute it and will call people like me an Uncle Tom. I'm not an Uncle Tom if I'm telling you from the perspective of someone being black exactly what is happening. I mean, I'm black. I know a hustle when I see it. I've been hustling all my life. Washing cars, washing people, cleaning up people's houses for money, selling cakes, selling candy, selling food of any kind. That's what I used to do to be able to make a decent living. And I have to say, without a shadow of a doubt, man, at the end of the day, a hustle is a hustle, no matter which way you see it. Now, as y'all can hear, my son kind of busy with his virtual learning, so I don't want to keep him any longer, you feel me? So, thank y'all for being on my show today, and I want to know from you. Drop me a comment, man. Let me know. Do you believe the Black Lives Matter movement really is nothing more than just another hustle? If you disagree, tell me why. If you agree, I definitely would like to know why. But thank you guys for being on my show today. Deuces. Deuces.